After having discussed Vi's final look a couple of days back, how she's now much more visually vulnerable, open, with less fighting attributes, her identity influenced as a scar on her Vi tattoo tells us, let's take a moment to discuss Caitlyn's final look and its meaning. Now, Caitlyn's clothes, unlike Vi's, didn't really strongly represent different stages of her arcane progression, as she has not been changing nor struggling as much as Vi has. Caitlyn's a person true to her ideals, coming from a classy, higher-class household where she was taught to be well-mannered and restricted. She also has a grand responsibility carrying the Kiraman name, now being the head of the house. People looking up to her and following her.
I am a decorated officer, leader of House Kiraman.
Apart from her childhood clothes, very tailor-made-like, courteous, she has only ever worn outfits not connected to being part of the Enforcers during her zone trip with Vi, as well as by the very end. Not counting the 2 times when she was naked. Zone clothes were clearly meant to make her blend in, as Vi intended. But they also underlined her personality a bit more, made her seem more approachable, at the very least to Vi, who saw who Caitlyn truly was almost straight away during the brothel scene, when she was not only sitting by a woman's side, but also surrounded with hunting attributes honest to her nature. Otherwise, her clothes were mostly Enforcers related, whether she was still low within the ranges, or all the way up, as a dictator. Even as a white beret designated leader, her true essence was and still remains being part of the forces. She is well guarded, official, less approachable, and within set boundaries. An outfit of hers that drifts away from these interpretations, however, is her final one. She looks stunning in it, but it also speaks volumes of where she's at right now and what she has been through during Arcane events. Black turtleneck does of course suggest she's a bit closed as a person. During Arcane events she has only ever opened up to Vi, allows her into her house, into her room, into her bed, even during her Medi meetups. Sleepovers if you will, like let's not go there. She seemed to be meeting her in an official Kiraman guest room and not within her own quarters. When Vi was wounded, she immediately took her to her private room, even despite their temporary fallout. Outside of Vi, Caitlyn rarely exposes herself, does not let other people approach her. She is distanced, official within her behavior, yet still polite. Even in front of Vi, she did make attempts to pull herself together, fix herself up the moment she broke down crying, or when she was hurt herself. She's been taught to be dignified. Now her current look underlines both that, as well as the fact that she's well guarded. Notice how the turtleneck protects her neck, part of her body that was subject to attacks and multiple times. Black color of her outfit, along with her eye patch, very much feels like an aftermath of her dark face. I would say that perhaps it's a sign of still grieving, but I am not sure if she'd carry her grief as openly. She's the type of a person that would carry it within her. Eye patch, sign of losing one of her eyes, is a symbol of not just her wound, but also losing part of herself, very essential to her, as a result of her actions.
You're an alright shot.
I'm an excellent shot.
We know that being a shot is and always has been an essence of who she is. She's now just slightly less of that. She can still shoot, but surely there is some effort involved. During Arcane events, especially in Season 2, result of her grief, anger and driven by revenge, she compromised parts of herself. Losing an eye feels like her own karma, a price to be paid as Ambessa suggested to her. In a way, it feels like a similar device to show that she's now a bit changed, as Vi's scarred tattoo. More than that, her current look is sort of supposed to be her essence, as the intro song suggests. Notice how every single character in the intro is exposed, except for her. She might be more closed off than we think, might have been influenced more than we suspect, and was surely suffocating within her new role in Season 2, torn between what's right and what serves an instant gratification, but at a price. End of the day, she also visually became just a little bit like her mother, unapproachable and dignified. Caitlyn, of course, does expose herself to Vi. She was pretty exposed in the prison scene. She was also, ironically, very much vulnerable in front of Jinx during kidnapping her. Naked at the time, Jinx and Caitlyn always had a very unlikely bond, defined by both mutual hatred and later on, mutual understanding because they both cared about Vi. The fact Jinx saw Caitlyn naked emphasizes the fact Jinx also understood Cait's hatred towards her. End of the day, understood who she was. Caitlyn hides and distances herself from everyone else, By the end of final act of Arcane, she became the head of Kiriman House, represented as such visually, but still having Vi by her side. And despite not being as open as her outfit-wise, their surrounding is enough to tell us where she's at. The warmth of the living room, the fire, underline just how close they are, and how there's one person that Caitlyn is not shutting herself off to.